Is Monday, October 31st, and we're going to go ahead and look at our NBA totals for today. A whole slate of games here. All four we're going to cover. Again, still struggling, not doing that great. Yesterday, not a great day. Saturday was a positive day, so we're still kind of getting our ground here as we learn more about these teams and the pace they're going to go. How efficient they're going to be, their defensive schemes, things like that. How they're matching up with other teams as well as we continue. First week is in the books, so it definitely was not a positive week for my sides or my totals. So hopefully you faded me and you made a little bit of money there, but we're going to get back on track. November, I believe, is going to be a positive month. Just unfortunately, we had a really bad first week of the season, and that happens. I think that happens to every handicapper. I know that happens to every handicapper. Anybody that tells you they're positive every week or every month is a liar. It just simply is not true. It doesn't happen. You're not going to win every month of the year, and you're not going to win every week. That's for sure. So it was a bad first week, but we're going to go ahead and keep grinding away here. Let's go ahead. Let's start breaking these games down. And the first one up we got is Sacramento, Atlanta. We're going to go under the total of 201.5. That's at Pinnacle Sports right now. You look at Sacramento, we got Dave Jorger. It's still, they've actually put up some points, except for their loss against San Antonio, where they only scored 94, but they've been pretty efficient, but they're still only averaging, they rank 27th in attempts. They're averaging about 80 attempts per game. Then you got Atlanta. They're averaging 19 attempts per game. And you look at Jorger and Budenholzer, two defensive coaches, really, essentially. In Atlanta also, I mean, they've scored 114, 104 points. They're the home team here. But defensively, you're talking about an Atlanta team that's only allowing 85.5 points in their first couple games here in Sacramento, allowing almost 100 points per game. So they've been decent in that aspect. But with the pace of this game, also Sacramento's, they really want to go slow. It seems like that's what Jorger has implemented. They're allowing under 80 attempts per game. So look for this really to be a grind out sort of game defensively. When you average these teams out numbers wise, it looks like this number should be higher than the 201.5. There's a reason why it's down, considerably. Just with their average scores, averaging them up to give us a final there. That's not going to work out. So we're going to go under the total 201.5. I believe, this is going to be a lower scoring affair than most people anticipate. Next game we got up is Denver, Toronto. Again, we're going to go under the total of 204 at Bookmaker as Denver travels across the border. Denver's been okay this year. They get 6 guys in double figures. Mike Malone, decent head coach. But you're talking about a Toronto team. I think they're going to set the tempo and the pace, and they're a defensive team first. You saw how they played against Cleveland. They really tried to grind it out with the Cavs. They're allowing just 92.5 points per game so far this season, but they're also allowing just 81.5 attempts. So I think they're going to control that sort of tempo when Denver comes in. And Denver's not, this isn't the George Karl Denver Nuggets where they just want to get up and down. They're going to play some defense. They rank 8th in opponent shooting efficiency. So I think we're going to be able to stay under this 204 if these guys step up and play a little bit of D, and I don't think it's going to be a very fast-paced game. All right, next up we got Chicago and Brooklyn. I got to play on this also, and here's the total play for that one. We're going to go over the 211.5 like we did with Chicago taking on Indiana the other night. Both these teams are off some rest, but wow, you're talking about a Chicago team right now. They're averaging over 111 points. They really push pace. They're 12th in attempts right now. Brooklyn, they're 11th in attempts. I think Kenny Atkinson done a nice job with them. They're averaging 109 points per game. But then we look at them defensively, and this is why I really like the game, is Brooklyn, they're allowing right now almost 92 attempts per game, and that's right in Chicago's wheelhouse because Hoiberg wants to get them going and get them in space and, get up and down the floor. Let Rondo go ahead and push the tempo. Right now, again, that over is it's 211.5. I'm going to make a play on the over, and that's at Bet Online. In case I didn't mention that, I think I did. Brooklyn right now, they're defensively, they're not good. They're allowing over 50% in opponent effective field goal percentage. That's a bad stat. And Chicago, they rank as one of the worst in that category, 54%. So I expect Brooklyn to be able to probably hang in with this one and go ahead and score. Both these teams should score over 100 points, which is going to help us get over that 211.5. This should be a really fast-paced game, and I look for them to get up and down the floor. So until Chicago shows me something different, they're really an over team right now, and I think they're going to bring that sort of mindset into Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's more than happy. And Brooklyn, they've got some guys, scoring. They got 6 guys, as I mentioned, I believe I mentioned, in double figures. So they're Lynn's playing really well, and that they're going to be able to score against a pretty bad Chicago defense. At least that's how I see it. So 211.5 on that one. We're going to go over the total. Last one we got is Phoenix and the Los Angeles Clippers, and we're going to go over the total of 208. Yesterday, both these teams are coming off a back-to-back. Phoenix, lost to Golden State, but they did really made a run at them. The total of that game was stayed way under. We went over, because they've been so over in the past. Phoenix is very, very interesting team this year with Earl Watson at the helm, and I'm going to have to go ahead and take a really close look at them. But I like the fact that the Clippers had to play Utah last night and got really bogged down in a really slow-paced game as Utah, plays such tough defense. And what was another side loser for me, to be honest, backing Utah. But the Clippers grinded it out, and they ended up with an 88-75 win. I think they're going to be very happy tonight. The Suns are in town that want to go ahead and get up and down the floor. Last season when these two met, and they have the same makeup of players, their finals were 198, 222, 208, and 219. So it looks like odds makers kind of, set a middle ground there at that 208. But I think coming off that back-to-back, the defensive focus might not be there. So look for them to go ahead and get up and down the floor in what should be a really fun one to watch. All right, so quick recap of Monday's game. We got Sacramento, Atlanta under the total of 201.5. At Pinnacle Sports. Denver, Toronto under the total of 204 at Bookmaker. Chicago, Brooklyn over the total of 211.5 at BetOnline. And Phoenix and Los Angeles over the total of 208. And that's at any SBR Sportsbook. Right now it's across the board, so you want to take a look at the best odds. So we will get on track for November, although this is the last day of October. Let's see if we can have a positive day. And I wish you luck on your picks today.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.